In 1985, musicians Willie Nelson, John Mellencamp, and Neil Young organized the first Farm Aid concert. Held in Champaign, Illinois, the event raised $9 million and helped generate awareness about the farm crisis.
If nothing else, it got people thinking about it, and farmers came forth telling their stories, and I knew we were on to something, and I knew if we could give these farmers a voice, then that would help them, and that's what we've been trying to do.
Looking back, those involved with the first Farm Aid never imagined it would still be needed today.
I figured that this was such an important issue, and I just assumed that everyone else would realize it and do something about it, and the smart guys in Washington would pass a law that made sure the farmers got took care of. They passed a law that took care of the big corporate farmers, but they forgot about the little guy.
When we realized we had to keep going because this was not going to be solved overnight, he said, well, we should be playing in different parts of the country so that farmers can come in different places. It's given us a tremendous opportunity. We gather farmers and food advocates and farm advocates, and so we've often left behind sort of a web that's a little bit stronger than when we came there.
For 25 years, Farm Aid has served many needs, but its main mission is to build a family farm-centered system of agriculture in America. The organization promotes food produced by family farmers, helps grow the good food movement, and takes action to change the agricultural system. Perhaps most important, Farm Aid serves as a network, putting farmers in touch with more than 500 resources nationwide.
Since the very first day Farm Aid began, we've been taking calls for farmers, and we always try to find someone in their area that can be of service to them, that can connect them up with the help they need or who can help them. So often I think family farmers feel isolated. By nature, the job is isolated. And this really has connected, I think, family farmers to everybody out there so that they know how much people care. And when you realize how many people have supported Farm Aid over the years, that's a lot of people.
On the road again.
In addition to organizing and performing at concerts, Nelson, like the Farm Aid staff, also is active off stage. For example, in 1996, Market to Market caught up with Nelson when he joined a group of Iowa farmers protesting factory hog farms.
Factory farms, yes! Factory farms, no!
Nelson also writes letters on behalf of the organization and signs grant checks. To date, Farm Aid has raised more than $37 million for rural America, using the funds to support grassroots organizations and its own program initiatives.
Come on. Come on.
John Kinsman runs an organic dairy farm in south central Wisconsin. He founded Family Farm Defenders, or FFD, which has received grants from Farm Aid for several years. Created in 1994, FFD reaches out to farmers worldwide to help create a democratic, farmer-controlled, and consumer-oriented food system.
And so a lot of what they do is messaging to tell the public what's going on with the farmers and what they can do to help. For instance, if dairy farmers are having trouble and they're desperate and they hear about Farm Aid, and so they find out how to call the office in Boston, and then they refer the dairy farmers to our organization now, the Family Farm Defenders, because we're in the dairy state. And so then we spend time on the phone referring them to where they can get some immediate cash help and some counseling, because mainly it's counseling.
Two other groups that received grant money from Farm Aid are the Missouri Rural Crisis Center, created during the 1980s farm crisis, and Patchwork Family Farms. Both groups work to help family farmers thrive by advocating for fair policies and sustainable markets. Founder Rhonda Perry raises hogs, cattle, soybeans, and grain with her husband Roger Allison on their farm in Missouri.
The resources that Farm Aid has provided has been great, and they actually were one of the contributors to our starting up of Patchwork Family Farms early on, clear back in 1993. But also our relationship with Farm Aid has been really working with them in an effort to highlight the issues that are facing family farmers today.
Last year, Farm Aid distributed more than $503,000 to 72 family farm and rural service organizations nationwide. Funds also supported efforts to ensure legislation enacted in the 2008 Farm Bill is implemented in ways that serve the interests of family farmers. In addition, Farm Aid's Family Farm Disaster Fund provided $67,000 in grants and emergency relief to families affected by weather disasters in 2009.
We've always worked with many different kinds of farmers. We work with commodity farmers, we work with large farmers, we work with small farmers, and one of the really benefits of that is being able to get farmers together so that they have learned from each other. So a lot of farmers have changed their growing practices by coming into contact with other farmers at an event like Farm Aid or at any of the other gatherings that happen during the year. So we work with all kinds of farmers. There should never be the illusion that we only work with organic or small farms. We work with family farms.
The 2007 Census of Agriculture reported a loss of 80,000 mid-sized farms since the last census in 2002. Some researchers predict mid-sized farms will disappear completely within a decade. According to Farm Aid, conventional wisdom has advised them to get big or get out. But given the growing demand for local, family farm identified food, mid-sized producers should be well positioned to bring the benefits of direct markets to more consumers and communities. Farm Aid's founder, Willie Nelson, calls America's family farmers the backbone of the nation. He says when farms thrive, main streets and local communities thrive.
The farmer is the bottom rung on the economic ladder. And when he goes under, everybody on top falls in, and he's going under. So the only way this country will ever reverse and get back on a good economical road and to be able to recover from where we're at, if we turn it around and let the farmers grow us out of it. They have the experience and the knowledge how to grow not only food, but fuel. And people out of necessity are having to start figuring out different ways to take care of themselves, and local sustainable agriculture is the way we have to do it.
Thank you from all of us at Farm Aid 25.
More than 35,000 fans attended the concert this year, netting the organization more than $2 million from ticket sales alone. The theme of Farm Aid 25 was Growing Hope for America, a sentiment reflected in the optimism the organization says it has for the future of family farmers.
I am totally certain, standing here today, that our future is going to be one of many more family farms. I know that people are coming to that. I think we're coming to a tipping point.
They've really been there, out on the front lines and on the cutting edge of the real issues that have been facing our members and hundreds of thousands of farmers across the country.
I think most everyone wants to see it happen, see the farmers better took care of, and that's what we're trying to do.
For Market to Market, I'm Laurel Bauer Berkmeyer.